Hi everybody, hope everybody's doing well, hope everybody's safe. But, you know, the more, I've been on my phone a lot lately, and I'm wondering if anybody else has been dealing with this similar issue as I have. Now, my phone's been dying about halfway through the day, so went to the Apple store, and the employee's only solution was for me to take out a second mortgage and buy a new iPhone. So I did what any logical consumer does in a capitalist society, and I went to the bank to meet with my mortgage officer. Now, I was scrolling through Twitter, and while I waited, and watching, the battery percentage tick down faster than the clock, when I stumbled upon a video of some people dealing with their own tech problems that I think you guys might be interested in.
Dude, I sat on the phone with Tesla customer service for 45 minutes the other day just for them to tell me they can't send me a replacement gas cap.
Gas cap? Did you try, Money Motors or something, like getting a third-party aftermarket part or something?
I tried there in a regular dealership, but Elon always wants one hand on my wallet, so I have to take it to the manufacturer.
Dude, that guy's way too busy smoking pot with Joe Rogan, calling cave divers pedophiles to be worried about you or any other customer, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy is such a clown. I don't know how anybody expects the guy to run a company.
Big Daddy Elon?
I might be super stoned right now, but when you buy a Tesla, you're not just buying a car, you're buying an idea. Don't worry. When NASA borrows my rockets, I make them take it to the manufacturer too.
Ideas aren't going to pass my inspection. Just let me fix my damn car.
I'm sorry. That just goes against Tesla's strict repair policy that you signed when you bought a car. I don't know what to tell you.
How did this man get in our call? I think this video is demonstrating two clear problems that need to be addressed. One, we probably shouldn't be trusting private video calls with a company that asks Facebook for help with their privacy concerns, and that companies have a stranglehold on aftermarket repair that needs to be addressed. The right to repair electronics refers to the government legislation that's intended to allow consumers the ability to modify their own consumer electronic devices, where otherwise the manufacturer of such devices requires the customer to only use their offered services. In other words, the right to repair is the freedom to fix your devices the way that you see fit. For a long time, I assumed I had this right, but I recently learned that we have less control over our own tech than we think we do. Now, many people like the idea of an electric car. It's better for the environment, it can be cheaper over the long run without having to pay for gas prices, but given the leaps in technologies that cars from companies like Tesla have made, repairs can become a sticky situation. The only options are to pay exorbitant repair fees and have a car fixed directly by Tesla, or to enter the legally gray area of third-party Tesla repair. But are these cars really as complicated as Tesla wants you to think they are? Rich Benoit would likely tell you no. This popular car YouTuber, who goes by Rich Rebuilds on YouTube, has become famous for salvaging a wrecked Tesla, and has taken it upon himself to lead the charge for those who want to take repairs into their own hands. Through his videos, he seeks to reveal the ways in which Tesla prevents private repair, as this clip illustrates.
Tesla Service, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thanks. I have a 2012 Model S, and it's giving me an issue charging. I've narrowed it down to one of the chargers under the rear seat. How much do those go for?
Can I have your VIN number?
Oh, sorry about that, sure. My VIN number is 5...
We actually can't sell you any parts for that car either. It's on our restricted VIN list.
Ah, okay, all right. No parts at all?
Unfortunately not, sir.
Tesla essentially blacklists cars that are considered rule breakers. But at the very least, given the digital nature of the Tesla, there's still many benefits to owning a car like this. For example, the constant feature updates that continue to make the car feeling fresh and cutting edge, like the recently added Tesla Summon feature that lets your car find you in the parking lot.
For Tesla, the ride of the future may have just hit a pothole.
Oh!
This morning, videos of the car company's autonomous feature failing and fueling online criticism.
Jeez, what's the deal?
Now, all jokes aside, the computer in your Tesla has to be in constant communication with Tesla servers to maintain its functionality, but this leaves you open to policing from the hand that feeds. For cars that Tesla has deemed salvaged, like the one Rich repaired, they've decided to remove supercharging and third-party fast charging. This means people who can't afford a new Tesla can't own a fully functional Tesla. To put it into perspective, With fast charging, you can get an 80% charge in 30 minutes, as opposed to at-home charging where it can take almost 20 hours to get a full charge on a Tesla Model 3. Doesn't it seem rather hypocritical of a company that brags about how good its cars are for the planet to essentially trash good cars? Now, this company certainly isn't the only one that's guilty of faulty repair practices. Many people are facing the same problem that I am. You have a perfectly good phone, but it can't make it through one day on a charge anymore. Now, to give Apple credit, they've made strides in battery repair pricing, now capping out at only $79 for the most expensive phone, but it did take a lawsuit to get them there. In late 2017, a class action lawsuit against Apple was filed for manually slowing down older phones whose batteries were getting lower capacity. The claim of many big tech companies is that third-party repair shops lack the training and skill necessary to fix their products safely and to provide you a good service. This makes sense, because every Tesla that catches on fire and every poorly done independent repair job affects extremely poorly on these companies' images. But even officially sanctioned repair locations are usually trained to sell the newest model instead of fixing an old one. When your MacBook is broken, your first thought is to bring it to an Apple store. But they don't always have your best interest in mind, and they aren't always the smartest.
We brought him the computer that the Apple store in Toronto said was not worth fixing.
Have a seat. So this is a MacBook Pro that the Apple store said would cost $1,200 to fix and wasn't worth doing. So if I walked in off the street with this problem, what would you charge for the repair you just did?
If somebody wanted me to just bend the pin back, I wouldn't charge them for that. I would say, I'm going to rework your original cable. That may not last long term, but here, it's free. If they wanted us to replace the cable, depending on the model, anywhere from $75 to $150, depending on the difficulty of opening that model.
There are people like Louis Rossmann that dedicate their lives to repair and are often far more talented than even Apple's trained employees. But there isn't an avenue for them to become vetted as official repair shops or legitimate channels to get their hands on schematics and first-party replacement parts. For many of the internet's most popular repair experts, like Louis and Rich, their livelihoods are constantly on the line, as these huge companies threaten legal action against them on the regular for revealing things that they consider to be their intellectual property to the public. But these are often things that can help people save a great deal of money.
Now, about 3.5 years ago, I made an educational video showing you what to do if you have water spilled into a MacBook and it gets in the trackpad area. I showed how to replace a fuse that blew in this customer's case so that their keyboard and trackpad didn't work. And 3 months later, I heard from a law firm of Kilpatrick & Townsend asking on behalf of Apple if I would take this video down. Why do I bring this up? I bring this up because the appliance lobbyist over there said that this is a solution in search of a problem. However, I don't often see people paying $1,200 an hour to create when there's no problem. There is a problem, which is that when I show you where a fuse is in a product, I can get in trouble for that.
The copyright system in the US is being exploited to monopolize tech repair on items that have all but become essential goods, like cars and phones. This monopolization of repair is not only harming the livelihoods of independent repair specialists, but all of us as well. When independent repair shops are pushed out of the market, it prevents any competition in the space and essentially allows companies like Apple and Tesla to charge massive markups on repair. As consumers, the only way we can prevent companies from walking on us is to become aware of these anti-consumer practices and push government officials to make a change in all of our best interests. Bodies like the European Union are starting to put pressure on cell phone manufacturers to make their products more user-repairable, but the US's more pro-business mentality has left it largely absent from the conversation. If there's anything you take away from today's show, it's that we all need to address the toxic business practices of companies like Apple and Tesla, who believes that they own products well after they're in the hands of consumers. Should we really be trusting these corrupt leaders with the technology that has become so important to our life? Are you kidding me?
Who are you calling toxic?
Oh, you've taken time out of your busy schedule of making tweets to tank your own stock prices and Zoom bombing teenagers to make it onto the show.
If they're not going to reopen America, what else am I supposed to be doing?
Oh my gosh. Some people. And Tim, how did you guys hack Mark Zuckerberg to get into the call? Like, I don't even, Jesus, thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.